everybody, and welcome back to the RostyMaths channel. Welcome back to our Year 9 series on algebra. And now we are moving into rearranging a formulae. So keep tabs on how we've been getting on. If you're just joining us for the first time and you want to get everything that you have missed in one place, click on the pop-up banner up there and I will give you a link to the playlist for all of the videos that we have done so far. And this is where this video will be added to as well. So otherwise, without further ado, let's go into rearranging formulae. Before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you will know as soon as a new video has landed. Now at the top of this video, I said rearranging formulae, but then now you see subject of the formulae. That's the old-fashioned way of talking about it, and I want to use that method today because it makes more sense for students as well. They actually get it a lot quicker. Now, in order to make something the subject, we have to understand what the subject means. So that variable is by itself on either side of the equal sign. That's what it means to be the subject of that formula. So you can see here that on this particular formula here, y is the subject. And the reason why y is the subject is because it is by itself on the left-hand side of that formula. There is nothing else next to it. X is not the subject because 3 is being subtracted from it. So, you know, that really doesn't work out for us there. So y is the subject. Now, I need to make x the subject. And in order to make x the subject, I need to get rid of this 3 that's a hanger on. And in order to get rid of that 3, I need to do something called the inverse operation. An inverse operation basically means opposite operation. Now let's talk about that for a minute before we actually start solving this. We have to get rid of all these technical terms. If you don't understand the technical terms, then the questions wouldn't make sense. So the inverse operation, I'm going to use a method called a balancing method, and you'll see what that is. It'll explain itself as I go along. But in order to do the balancing method, I need to do the inverse operation. Now, when we talk about operation, you'll remember from way small, back in primary school, your operations in maths, there are 4. It's either you're going to be adding or subtracting, or multiplying or dividing. These are the 4 operations that we generally use. And inverse means opposite. So for example, if I was adding, I need to subtract. So the opposite of adding is subtracting and vice versa. So these are opposite to each other. And these are opposite to each other as well. If something was multiplying, I will divide and so on. Okay? So now that we get the language out the way, let's go do the question. So I need to make x the subject, and this x has a 3 that's being subtracted from it. This 3 needs to go. And in order to get rid of this 3, so I'll say get rid of, in order to get rid of this 3, I need to do the inverse operation. Well, the 3 is subtracting, and the opposite of subtracting is adding. So what I'm going to do using the balancing method is I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So add 3 to both sides. That's what the balancing method means. It means that whatever I do on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side. So if I added 3 here, I got to add 3 there. Okay? All right, here we go. Now what's going to happen there then? On the left-hand side, I will be left with y, actually let me just put it on the side over here, y subtract 3. But on the right hand side, I'm just left with x. Why, you say? Well, 3 take away 3 is 0. That cancels out. That's what I wanted. That's why I said get rid of it. So to get rid of it, I have to make sure, sorry, I forgot to put the add 3 there. I have to make sure that I cancel that out. So put a line through that and cancel that out. That's gone. All right, and that's it. It's finished now because X is now the subject. All right, looks beautiful. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So for the next one, we got 2 jobs to do because there are 2 things to move. We have got to move that 3 and we got to move this 2. So we've got 2 jobs to do. Let's get on and do it. We're going to do the inverse operation as we have just done to get X by itself. We need to make it the subject. So to make it the subject, this 3 needs to go first. And to get rid of this 3, I need to take away 3 from both sides. So take away 3, take away 3. So on the left-hand side, what I've actually got, let's put this implies that y take away 3 is equal to 2x. Where did I get that from? Well, y take away 3, that's going to happen. It's the balancing method. I have to do it on both sides. 3 take away 3, that's cancelled out. So that's gone. Okay, I don't know why that little line just went there. 3 take away 3, that cancelled out. And because that's gone now, all I've got left is 2x. Now the 2 needs to go as well. Okay, I can't just leave that there. Inverse operation. What are these 2 doing? Okay, they are multiplying. If you're unsure about that, click on the pop-out banner up there and check my video on collecting like terms where we learned about what happens when we see a letter and a number together. But they're multiplying. And the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 2 like so. Notice I put the line under the whole thing. Really important. Don't just put it under the y or the 3. Okay. Anyway, these cancel out and become 1. And when they cancel out, then x is now on its own. So the final answer, y take away 3, everything over 2 is equal to x. Now x is on its own. It is now the subject of that formula. Okay. Now, if anything caught you off guard about here, click on my pop-out banner up here and go and check my video on dividing terms, and then you'll see why I said that this divided by that equals to 1. It's not 0, it is actually 1. All right, let's go down the bottom there now. So we need to make x the subject again, but, it's a massive but. Look at this, x has got a power. X has been upgraded. It's got powers now. So what do we do to sort that problem out? Well, let's take it slowly and see if we can learn something new. So the first thing that we'll do is obviously get rid of this 2k. Now I'm going to work a bit more efficiently, a bit faster, because now I've explained the steps to you. You should know what's going on. So the first thing I'm going to do is take away this 2k. Take away 2k, do it on both sides. And once I've done that, that's going to imply that I'm going to have y subtract 2k is equal to 4x squared. Now the next step, get rid of this 4. And so to get rid of that 4, it's multiplying. So I'm going to divide by 4 like so. And when I divide by 4, that will imply these 4's will cancel out. So y subtract 2k all over 4 is equal to x squared. And now I have to get rid of the square. And now we need to work out what is the opposite of square. Well, the opposite of square is square root. If you're unsure about that, click on the pop-out banner up there. Go watch my number video on square roots to find out opposite of square is going to be square root. So I need to square root both sides. Okay, so now all we have to do is do our square root. So we're going to put a massive square root on this side, y minus 2k all over 4, and that equals to x. Now x is the subject. We are finished. Okay, so that is it done for that particular question. Now we're going to quickly whiz through the other 2 and see what challenges awaits us on these ones. So on the 4th question down there, What's the problem? Well, we got x's on two sides. That's not going to work for me. Okay, the x need to make its mind up and be on one side and by itself as well. So let's see how best we can crack on through this one. This one should be fairly straightforward. Now, the first thing I need to do to get rid of the fact that you have x on both sides is I need to remove one of those x's. And to remove one of those x's, I'm going to take away x from both sides like that. So I've subtracted x from this side and subtracted it from that side. These two here become 0, so they cancel each other out. And then 3x take away 1x, that's going to be 2x's. So now what I've actually got is 2x plus p is equal to negative q, because the x that was on the right hand side is now gone. Well, hey, look at that. Now I've only got one x on one side, so that is brilliant. Now it's time to finish off this question. So I need to take away p, and then when I get my answer, I need to divide by 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So for this one now, I will subtract p from both sides. And then when I subtract my p, these p's will cancel out there. And what I'm going to have left is 2x is equal to negative q take away p. I can't combine these because they're not the same. And if you haven't guessed it, now I need to just divide by 2. So now I'm going to just get rid of this 2 by dividing both sides by 2. And then these 2's will cancel out. So that means that x is actually equal to negative q take away p all over 2. This is now finished. All right, so that's fantastic. This is us done now. So I'm a bit conscious of the fact that the video has gone on for a bit. So I am going to ask you to have a go at that question. Make sure you pause the video here, because the next thing I will show you would be the answer. You need to start by expanding the brackets first. And if you're unsure how to do that, click on the video, click on the pop-out banner up here, and have a look at my video on expanding brackets. All right, your turn to have a go. Okay, so after that sped up bit there, that's the solution right there. Did you get that answer, that x is equal to negative 2q take away 3p? Let me know in the comments below how you found that. But that brings us to the end of this video on subject of the formulae, or rearranging formulae. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please give this video a like, and then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell so that you know the minute we upload any new videos. But for now, until I see you on the next one,